Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC, everybody. I'm Ken, and today we're taking a look at something that we didn't really. I have to take back something I said in a video previously. I kind of had a little rant about scale, and in that rant was including this guy here.
Maybe we'll pick one up just to check it out again, but it's not because, I know we're not. I'm going to straight up say we're not going to pick one up. Because our cutoff is realistically, like in my mind, Mini RC starts at 1/16, right? 1/16 and smaller is kind of Mini RC. The Mini B is a 1/16 scale, Mini C is a 1/18 scale, and so we don't really want to do anything larger than 1/16 to 1/18, and this thing is not that. So, and again, the Capra is awesome from a quality standpoint. Just everything I've seen about it, there's tons of videos out there already. Great quality. It's worth every cent of the $250. So maybe I should have a little steering to be actually Capra portals, one or the other. But it seems like it's going to be really great quality, but it's all like 1/10 scale stuff. Even the servo's a 1/10 scale servo, which is really cool, but it's not 1/18, not even close. So we're not going to pick one up. We'll stay it right now. We will not pick up the new Axial Capra. If it were a true 1/18, maybe even a 1/16, then we'd pick it up. But not today, Axial. You're not getting us. Even though it says 1/18, I want to get it, but I know it's not. So it's just the size. Again, we want to stick to an actual physical size.
That didn't age well. No, our opinions on the scale and labeling, it still applies. I still wish they would have called it something closer to a 1/14. It is what it is. But we're going to change the description in that video just to let people know that we did pick it up, and we're going to also link to this video from that video. So when people watch that video, they'll see we snagged one, and we didn't hold true to our word. Things change. Like I said, we got into the much bigger RCs as well. So we've got some 10 scales. We got a Rift. We got a Bronco. We got some 1/8. I guess they're technically, they call them 1/6 Jimneys. So we have some larger stuff. And so there's no reason to ostracize this guy as bad as we did. So Axial, I apologize. But please, guys, don't use scale just as a random label. Like, use it like it's meant to be. It's a mathematical thing. It's math. There is no opinion on what scale it is. It is a 113.8. This is the newish. It's been a little bit. It's been out. There's other videos out there, but this one's ours. So this is the 18th scale. We'll put it in quotes. 18th scale Mini Capra. We'll show the box real quick here. In our little rant video, we said we probably would not be picking one of these up because, well, at the time, I was really trying to focus strictly on the Mini RC segment. And since then, we've gotten some 10 scales and some larger stuff. And so I figured if we're going that route, we might as well get one of these. That way we're not doing a disservice to our fan base and our viewers and not having one on hand to show upgrades for or to talk about knowledgeably by, because when you don't have one in hand, it's different. You're talking about it and it's just stuff you hear other people say, or maybe you check one out at a local store, but you never actually drove it. So you can't give really good information. So I wanted to be able to give really good information. This platform is kind of blowing up. Tons of aftermarket support, which is super awesome. It's kind of an interesting size. It is, well, we're going to open it up and then we'll show you. Now we got the green one here. There is also the orange Fox livery. The green comes with the black cage and the orange Fox comes with the gray cage. There's the other side, just so we don't miss it. All right, let's get it open. So again, they're calling this the Mini Capra or the UTB18 Capra. They're calling it an 18th scale, but we did the math, and per the scale of the 1/10 scale, it really comes out closer to a 1/14. The actual math of scaling it from a 1/10 down to this is 13.8. So it's a 113.8. But the scale is kind of irrelevant other than helping new people understand the actual size of it. I have had some people mention to me that it's much bigger than they really wanted when they purchased it. And so we wanted to see just how big it really was. And I just don't want that to hold you back if this is something you're interested in, because from what I understand, it's a fantastic platform and the size is really awesome. So let's just go ahead and dive into this guy. We'll check it out and we'll see how that size really compares and if it matters. I'm sure it'll matter for people that want a certain size, actual size, like we did originally. We were trying to stay with, micro scale, and 1/18 was kind of our limit on crawlers. but this was clearly much bigger. So we will, we'll see. Again, I don't want it to sound like I'm hating on it because of that. I want it to be clear for new people when they're purchasing a truck or a car of what they're really getting into. And I think it's a little misleading to call this a 1/18th. But again, I talked to the Axial guys. They kind of gave me some explanation as to why they're calling this a 1/18th. Let's go ahead and get it open and I'll keep talking. And they made some good points. But a lot of the points that they made had nothing to do with the size. And scale is really about size, right? Like, that's what scale is. It is its size comparison to the real vehicle. Part of the reason I'm kind of staying on this is because I did talk heavily about it in another video, and I just want to explain why I had those feelings one more time and just give some insight into why I made that video. Again, I want to make sure people have accurate information. I'm all about trying to educate the newer guy, and I feel like it's a little misleading. This thing is huge for a 1/18th scale. Man, here, just as an example, this is 1/18th, and this guy is 1/18th as well. So you can see a huge size difference there. But again, just because it's large doesn't mean it's not awesome. Okay. And this thing, as soon as I pull it out of the box, I can tell you it is quality. That's another thing that I noticed. And it might have hurt them a little bit in their sales because they called it a 1/18th, but it was almost $100 more expensive than the Traxxas or the other platforms, essentially, that we're calling things 1/18th. And this is actually 1/18th if you were to measure it out. And this guy is very, very close to a 1/18th measured out compared to the real vehicles. So when somebody was looking for a 1/18th and the Capra came in at $100 more than the competition, you know, that could hurt them. But this thing is much more substantial. This is kind of my point. Let's dive into it. I can already just feel it right off of the rip. Opening this guy up, it is definitely more substantial. So it's the unmistakable Axial quality. It's got some beef to it. It feels good. These tires feel decent. We'll have to see if, are these glued? Yeah, they're glued, so we can't open them up. They feel like they've got some foam in there. Metal links, which is awesome on the lowers. Plastic on the uppers, not a big deal though, because your uppers don't take that much beating, whereas the lowers definitely do. Yeah, I mean, this thing, like I said, it's substantial, and, you know, the $250 price point doesn't seem too crazy to me. It actually seems like a pretty good deal for everything you're getting here. Especially if you're looking for a ready-to-run of this size. Not this scale, of this size. All right, so here's everything it comes with. Obviously, we've got a little USB charger. Got some batteries for the remote. Some tools, some hexes, it looks like. Interesting. You gotta love our Axial sticker. Yeah. Loving the sticker. So we got a connector guide for the different battery types and the UTB Capra manual. You can also probably download the PDF. So right under here is where that battery's hiding. We've got the Dynamite Reaction 2. These are the same batteries that run in these guys. Or these guys. Or the new low-C drag car. A lot of the smaller little buggies, the 1/18th and 1/16th buggies, they all run these guys. You can also get an 800 with 50C. So if you can find these little guys, they're perfect for this. They're the exact same size. You have a higher C rating and more milliamp hours for a longer runtime. Pretty sweet. They also make a bunch of different aftermarket batteries that'll fit right in this guy with the same C rating or higher, same milliamps or higher, and usually a little bit smaller so that you can reduce some of the weight in the front. These are a hard case though, so that is awesome. That way you don't have to worry about them getting banged up in there or, you know, just durability, right? Like a hard case is nice sometimes. So pretty sweet. I do love that the ready to run comes, well, ready to run. Got batteries. Everything is good to go. We can literally buy it off the shelf and go to the rocks. Mind you, you probably want to charge this up. It's a storage charge, so you're not going to get too long of a run, but you could charge it in your car on the drive, right? You probably have USB in your car. Charge it on up while you're driving to your spot and have a heck of a time at the rocks where you had nothing. Started your day with no RC and now you're out running one. Pretty sweet. I love that. That is new user friendly for sure. As a new person, you don't have to invest in trying to figure out what battery you need or what charger you need. You literally can just buy this guy and go run. Pretty awesome. Obviously, for AAAs. Whoa, hold on. I can't tell which way it goes in. Oh, positive, minus. Little positives on the plastic. There's a minus right there, but no positive on the metal. It's just on the plastic there, on the lid. So it was hard to tell. I was like, which way do they go? Boom. All right, there's a little status indicator light. Power buttons on this side. Also on this side, we've got 50, 75, 100. That's just kind of a throttle limiter. We also have our steering reverse. And then on this side, we've got our steering dual rate and our steering trim. Pretty cool. I dig that. This little remote, it's very comfortable. We've got this on another rig. I believe it's on the JRX 2. This guy here has the same remote. And we definitely like it. I can one-handed steer. And it's just nice and compact. You know, I'm not a big fan of the big, huge remotes. They don't need to be that big. They should be comfortable. They should be easily accessible for the buttons. And this very much is that. This is the SLT2. So on that note, this guy comes with a 2-in-1 combo for the ESC and receiver. I don't know if I mentioned these guys are using the EC2 plug. Looks like we have a bunch of lights. Lights here, lights up here. They're rear lights? I don't know. Let's plug it in. Our power switch is right here on the back. And boom. There we go. Yep. Wow, those are bright. That's awesome. Light bar, rock lights, headlights. Would be nice to have had a channel on here to turn the lights on and off. I would dig that. Sometimes you just don't want to run with lights, especially when we're filming. Yeah, you come into the camera and the lights are just super bright, but not a big deal. Again, this is a $250 rig. You know, it's not a $400 rig. It's $250. So there are going to be some give and takes on that sort of a thing there. Again, not a huge deal. Once you go brushless, if you go brushless or you upgrade the ESC, later on down the road, you're going to end up swapping over to a different receiver anyway, and then you can do all your light controls potentially from that. This little fuel cell in the back, pretty cool. It's empty, there's nothing in there, but there is space in there, so you can pop this off, throw your receiver in there when you do decide to do that upgrade, and it's nice and secure and safe. We have a 1/10 scale servo, which is pretty awesome. I know these guys are getting used, the axles are getting used on some 1/10 type builds, and mini comps, there's for the mini scale on some of those comp crawling rule sets. These are going to work perfect for that. This is going to revive some of that mini scale crawling. Not minis as in 1/24th and true 1/18ths, but mini when compared to the 1/10ths. I know that a lot of people are super excited for this. We did a video on Deluxe Fab and Hard Park and 3Flow 9, and they are all making parts for these guys to really just transform them into hardcore competition crawlers. You're going to be running like 1.9s on here. Actually, we have some we can show you here in a minute. But throwing some 1.9s on here with some class 1 or class 0 tires should work out really well if you're really trying to get into the hardcore comp crawling scene for the mini comp crawlers. Now, if you're not into that hardcore comp crawler scene yet, this guy looks like it's just going to be awesome just to kind of run around and crawl with on the rocks. Definitely a fantastic intro to larger scale rock crawling. Larger for us anyway, right? Like larger than the 24 scales, 28 scale on-road stuff. This thing is, like I said, far more substantial. And yeah, this is going to be fun. I am excited. Went in and pulled our wheels off here. Our Hexes. They are right at 12 millimeters. They are the 12 millimeter hex, so that's good. I'm going to pull this guy off and measure here. The ones that come on it look like they're 7 millimeters, but then it comes with a little extra accessory bag that are right at 5 or 5.5. Yeah, there you go. Looks like it's right at 5.5. So you can adjust your track width a little bit. That's nice to have the options. They also included a servo gear adapter. So if you need to change your servo, you'll have an adapter for the different spline count and their servo horn. So I appreciate that. That is good. So to compare the wheels and tires, they come with the 1.55s, the wheels, and then they are 1.3 by 3.5. And then these guys here are 1.9s with the crawler class zeros. And the class zeros are 3.85 tall. So you can see it's not a huge difference. And you get the 1.9 wheels with tons more tire options. There are some decent 1.5 tire options, but if you really want to have the full spectrum of tire options, the 1.9s are the way to go. Try to get class zeros. Class 1 would be 4.25 inches tall. And then obviously class 2 is the largest, 4.75 inches tall. So these guys, the Predator compound, from what I understand, are absolutely the beast. We got some used ones. One of our Facebook guys was like, hey, I got some of these if you're interested. So I snagged them up. And then we've got these super, super slick looking Punks Custom 3D wheels, 1.9s. Yeah, pretty slick. All right. So these guys are going to be awesome on this thing. And we are super excited for that. So that'll be cool. Let's keep going. These little caps, they just unscrew. Just unscrew those off, and then you get your nut, and you can unscrew that. The nuts are Loctited on, so they are a little tough to get off at first, but that's a good thing, so your wheels aren't falling off when it's brand new out the box. Let's go ahead and open up one of these portals. See what kind of gears we have inside the portal housing. Bam! Full metal gears inside there. That's good, nice and greased up. Bearings. So Team Garage Hack makes, I believe they're underdrive gears. Yeah, they are a 27 tooth underdrive gear. So that is awesome as well. Hardened steel, all that good stuff. I think they're like $20. Throw them in the back, get some underdrive in there. Very, very good. Let's see what else we can look at here. Suppose we can try to open up an axle. Getting the axles apart, pretty easy. You've just got 4 screws, 2 at each portal hub. Basically right here, you got these 2 screws here. And then you've got your diff cover screws here, and up there the link truss in the back just pops right off. Look at that. So nice all metal in there, greased up, bearings on our ring and our pinion. I dig that. These axle housings are pretty sweet. They're actually licensed Curry axles, so that's pretty sweet. I'm digging that. Let's get to this drive shaft. This drive shaft is a CVD style. It's not a U-joint. So you can see that there. I mentioned the links, metal links with plastic uppers. 3-flow 9. And a bunch of guys are making different links for these things. So if you want extended links, I know 3-flow 9 has some extended links. I think they're Delrin wrapped with carbon fiber wrapped uppers, something along those lines. Definitely check those out if you're looking to get a longer wheelbase. And then our shocks, these are some oil-filled shocks, and they feel really good. I mean, yeah, they feel nice for sure. If you're going to stretch it out at all, it's definitely going to lay lower. You might want to get some longer shocks. We only have 2 shock mounting positions here. Currently, they're in the forwardmost or innermost. Same with the front. There's 2 shock mounting positions there, and it's leaned back. So we are currently leaned in as much as possible. If you do extend it, you could probably go to this front or rear. Sorry, the outer shock mounting positions. Okay. What should we take off next? I guess we could pull it out of the skid here. See what that's about. Oh, I do want to point out that these are keyed and they are directional. So you want to make sure if you end up replacing these with aluminum or brass or something along those lines, that you put them back in the correct side, because they do need to go correct left and right. They're even labeled, actually. There's an R on there and an L on there. Alrighty, let's move on. We pass quality control. Oh, blurry. Let me go ahead and get the skid out and show you the insides. We definitely need a power tool. Why don't you tell me down below what powered screwdrivers you guys use for the larger scale stuff. We have a small little screwdriver here, but there's no way it's going to break loose these screws. Yeah, there's no way. So we definitely need something a little more heavy duty to work on this guy. So put down in the comments below what you use if you use a power tool. Powered screwdriver, drill, mini drill. I mean, we have a big drill, big drill, but something nice and small that's got tons of power, that'd be good. Bam, just like that, 4 screws. We can drop it down. You can see what's going on in there. Nice. Go ahead and pop the shocks off so we can get this thing all the way out. So just 8 screws will get your chassis and your suspension completely separated. Mind you, you still have your cables for your servo and whatnot, but we'll be able to see in here a little bit better. First thing here is the 37 turn 380 sized brushed motor. Pretty common. You can find these just about anywhere. So there's a little dynamite. Should be good for the ready to run for sure. If you want to upgrade, there's a lot of options as well. We actually have one of these guys already from Furatech, and they also just released a new UTB Python and Python Pro, so we might snag one of those up, but we're probably going to try to use this Komodo 2500 kV brushless motor in this guy. That'll be fun for sure. And again, a full-size servo, so that's pretty sweet. Tons of different servo options. Heck, we've got some already right here, both a full-size and a low pro. We're probably going to run the low pro. It's like this big with tons of power, but this stock servo, well, we'll tell you after the run, but I assume it's going to be damn good from all the other videos I've seen. But we'll let you know at the end how we feel about this servo. And then all of our ESC is, again, a 2-in-1 combo. I don't know if you can see it in there very well, but it's right there along the back. Nice and compact. Pretty sweet. There are no open channels, so you can't add anything to it. This guy is what it is, and if you want anything more, you're going to have to swap it out. But again, ready to run, 250 bucks. I mean, it's already looking well worth that price. I guess we'll go crazy here. We're going to pull the motor out. Let's take a look-see inside the transmission. Well, that's nice. This is a separate piece. You can pull that off. That way you can see your pinion. I dig that. Looks like we have a 14-tooth pinion. Go ahead and get this side of the cover off. And there we go. So it looks like the inner transmission gears are plastic. They're not metal or steel. But generally, with like a portal setup for sure, it's even more prevalent that the transmission gears don't take too much of a beating. And the way this guy is set up, it looks like it's going to be pretty robust. If you are worried about it, though, there are upgrades. Again, Team Garage Hack makes a full hardened steel set for all these gears. And yeah. But it definitely seems like it's still very quality, so I'm not really worried about it. I know some people would prefer metal, but again, we're looking at a $250 truck here, guys. This is not a $400 truck. All right. Let's go ahead and get her back together. It is all bearings in there, so just keep that in mind. If you get it wet, you got bearings in there, you definitely are going to want to grease them up or dry it out or do what you do to go get in the mud. All right, we're going to get her all back together here. And then I think we'll be ready to, we're going to go drive it, I guess. I guess we had a few other things I can show before we go run it. I just wanted to show the drive shafts. They are just a full O-ring versus a D-ring or D-hole. They are sleeved though. And you can completely pull the shaft off of the CVD portion. So that's pretty cool as well. Definitely dig that. The truck seems very, very easy to work on. I'm excited. And I'm excited to get some upgrades going for it. These shafts are super long, so if you do end up extending your wheelbase, you're probably going to be okay with the shafts. Depending on how long you go, obviously. The front's not quite as long as the rear, obviously. But, yeah. If you get a couple extra millimeters on your link length, these should be able to handle it. Because there's plenty of meat in there. Our bullet plugs for our motor, standard servo plug for the servo, and then our lights are on like the red JSTs. So that's pretty cool. Just figured I'd show you that stuff before we got her all back together. I think that's everything though. Got our interior, our on and off switch. I know I've seen some people with the battery, they'll actually remove this piece right here to fit a larger battery in there, but I don't think that's necessary. I like that this has got some little foam on there. Helps keep the battery nice and snug. I don't really see an issue there unless you're trying to fit some crazy big battery in there, but you really don't want the weight, right? Like you don't want the extra weight. So realistically, you actually want a smaller battery. So I guess it depends on what you're doing with it. Speaking of depending on what you're doing with it, the servo does not come with a servo saver, but the links are fairly flexible, which is not a horrible thing if you don't have a servo saver. And again, you're trying to be kind of new player friendly, new user friendly. It's either a servo saver or a little bit softer links. And I would prefer a little bit softer links because replacing the links is something a lot of people end up doing. You put full aluminum links, and then, you know, since they're not bashing it, they don't have to worry about the servo saver. Because I'd rather not have a servo saver, not on a crawler anyway. So I like that it's non-servo saver. Very good there. Yeah, I guess we'll just get her back together. She's kind of looking like a mess right now. And yeah, we're definitely going to go, we're going to go run it. We're probably going to go up to Red Rocks. Should be pretty cool to run it up there. So we're going to run some up at Red Rocks. Yeah, we'll see you when we get there. Let's go this way. Whoa, you ran me over. Hold on. Hold on. All right, there we go. I was stuck. All right, now follow this one. Turn. Let's go this way. No, other way. There you go.
Come on, let's follow our trucks.
Yeah, follow the trucks. Turn the other way. There you go.
I'm gonna fall my
Don't go fast. Whoa, keep it up here. Think you can make it over that? Oh, nice. Good job, buddy. Careful. Follow your truck. Don't fall, though.
I can't, cause this big hill.
Well, be careful. Just watch where you're walking.
Yes, I can. Like,
There you go.
that's the kid way.
Okay, hold on. Go that way. Don't fall off the cliff. Go slow.
Oh no. Oh no. This way, this way. Truck, truck.
Well, I hope you guys had fun with that. We didn't have a ton of running footage, and that's because we know we're going to be doing a bunch of upgrades to this guy. We're also going to get a second one. It's just too much fun. It's just too much fun. Again, all my early hate of this guy had nothing to do with the platform. I even mentioned in my video talking about the scale that I think it's going to be an awesome, awesome size and awesome platform. My issue is strictly on the fact that it's called a 1/18th, and I think that's confusing to new people, like very confusing. And aftermarket parts and stuff like that, you know, people are going to be like, oh, can I take, there's going to say motor for a 1/18th, but clearly it's not going to fit in this. This has got a lot closer to 1/10 scale stuff. I wish they would have just called it a 1/14th, the UTB18. I think they wanted to differentiate it further from the 1/10 Capra than it actually is, but that's okay. The platform is very different from a 1/10 Capra anyway, so it doesn't really matter because it's different enough, and it's different enough from other 1/18ths as well. So they could have called it a 1/16th even. But again, the platform itself, it's awesome. The driving, the experience, it's different from a 1/10th and it's different from a 1/18th. So again, that's why I feel like it should have been called a 1/18th, but it is awesome. It is super fun, and I am super excited to get some more upgrades on it. Like I said, we're going to end up getting a second one of these guys. I don't know. We're probably going to try to build it as a Dementor when the new Dementor chassis comes out from Hard Park. We might do the second one as a killer chassis. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a deluxe. I'm not sure where we're going with them, but I know we're going to want a second one. We've already got upgrades, so might as well snag up another one. It'll be fun. All right, guys. We do have a group for these guys on Facebook. Make sure you check it out. I'll put it down in the description below. Also, if you want to be a channel member, you'll get a bunch of perks. It's a super easy, just click the join button and it'll let you watch videos early. it will give you videos, those early videos with no ads. It'll also, at the higher tiers, get you swag and stickers and other different, just random perks you can see in the description for the channel membership, what all you get there. Also, check out our swag below. We're going to be holding a contest. We're almost at 5,000 subscribers. And we'll probably be there actually by the time this video posts. Which means we will have a video out for a contest we're going to be doing where we're going to be giving away a ready to run. And one of the best ways to get the most entries into that contest is to either be a channel member or pick up some of the swag that we have down below. We have a bunch of swag, a bunch of different shirts, hoodies, backpacks, you name it. And they're all basically priced as low as we can get them. We're making like $1, maybe $2 on each item. But really it's just to try to get you the ability to support the channel visually, not monetarily necessarily with the swag, just trying to get the name out there and help spread the news and spread the channel. And hopefully you guys appreciate what we're doing here and you give us a like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. That way you know when those new videos go live. Also, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, why don't you put down in the comments below mini beast, because this little mini Capra is a mini beast. So put that down in the comments to let us know that you watched the whole video all the way to the end. We have a lot of really long videos, but we like to deep dive, and we also like to talk, I guess. Shrug. I don't know. Anyway, guys, get out there and build something awesome. Build a car, build a community, build a course to run all that stuff on, and then smash them, crash them, and bash them, but don't break the expensive parts.